It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 1025 The Bone, and our next guest with us has been on your television on Sunday at some point during the game or on the other day. Dean Blandino is the rules analyst for Fox Sports. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Now, I have a lot of questions.
Yeah,
All right,
let's go.
let's start early. I want to be a referee. I wouldn't even know the path to begin to go down. Do you start?
Yes,
Do you start at the high school level,
Yeah.
or do you go
Typically,
to a typical?
you start. A lot of times they'll start at the high school levels. Contact the local high school association. They have officials
Right.
groups that have meetings. Go to a meeting, and then you get on a crew. A lot of times you start whether you're holding the chains, you're doing other things, and then you start working games. And yeah, a lot of officials started that way and just worked their way up.
And what did you do? You worked for?
I was different. I worked at the league office.
Right.
I started as an intern in the league office and started doing instant replay. So that was my path, and it was a little bit different than being on the field. And then ultimately was in charge of the department for a couple of years.
And how? I mean, sometimes when they go into there's a discussion on the field of what the ruling is going to be, and you already know. I mean, you must have to know the rules so inside out. You're usually ahead of the crew.
Well, sometimes, yeah, because we get the benefit of watching it on the replays and knowing what's going on. And then the officials, you might have 2 or 3 different officials that have different perspectives, and then they're just kind of discussing it. Hey, this is what I saw. Well, I saw something different. So sometimes that does happen. But, yeah, you've got to be up on the rules because that's like the biggest thing.
How is it that you can make a clear and concise judgment on something? We can see it at home,
And
sometimes
sometimes
it's still different.
I know. Sometimes I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But the more people you get involved, and they're talking to the referees, talking to the replay official in the booth, and then they're talking to people back in the command center at the league office. So the more people, like if I'm going to look at a play and I'm going to make a decision, but if the 6 of us here have to we're going to debate it. We're going to be, so it's going to take longer.
Where are you watching the game from?
I'll be combination of with the pregame crew and then upstairs in the booth with the.
So you'll be at the arena.
Yeah,
so you're
game.
traveling with each Fox Sports game.
Who do you think is the best analyst at saying what actually happened? Because a lot of times you'll come in and you'll go, yeah, I think you're right on this one, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you say, no, this happened, whatever. But out of all the guys, who do you think is right most of the time?
Of the rules analysts?
No. Of the actual call of the game.
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, we have. I think Tom Brady, who's worked with us this year, he's done a tremendous job. And he, going back to his when he played with the Patriots, they were really good with the rules and understanding the nuances. So Tom does a great job. Greg Olson does a great job. We've got a lot of really good. And it's interesting because that's like our job. They don't know the rule book the way we know it, the rules analysts, but a lot of them really study it because they want to be able in real time to be able to, explain it to the fans.
Yeah.
When's the last time you were perplexed by something? When you were like, God, I don't even have to go double.
Yeah, like last week.
Oh, right. What's been like? What are some of the things that we like? You're like, we never get to see this. Have you had anything like that recently?
Well, we had the NFC Championship game with the when the Eagles had the ball down at the goal line and Washington Luvu kept jumping over the top.
Oh yeah.
And then they announced that they were the referee could award a score if they continued, which is in the rule book.
Right.
I've never seen it happen. So that would have been interesting had they kept jumping offside. If the referee would have just said, "Okay, we're gonna award a touchdown to Philadelphia," that would have been different.
Do you ever have to go to the book?
Yeah.
Or you don't
Sometimes,
have it all?
I mean, I've got most of it,
yeah.
but there are going to be those unusual ones where you go, okay, wait a minute, I got to double check
Right.
this.
Because honestly, nobody knows when there's supposed to be a 10-second runoff, right?
10-second runoffs, 10-second runoffs are crazy.
They're like,
It's
I don't know, just take 10 seconds off.
Exactly. And sometimes there's some plays where literally I could go on the air and I could say whatever I want.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a very small group of like football officials that might know I'm full of crap.
Yeah.
Right.
But most people won't. So.
They'd go, oh, yeah,
Yeah, that
seems
sounds
right.
great.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
What do you think is the rule that fans sitting on their couch get wrong the most? Where that's PI, that's not PI? Or?
I think the idea that you hear this a lot. You can call holding on any play, and that's not necessarily true. There's an opportunity because there is a lot of grabbing, but is it at the point of attack? Does it have an impact
Right.
on the outcome of the play? Because if the receiver on the left side of the field by the sidelines holding and it's a sweep to the right, that doesn't really have any effect. So I think that's one pass interference, I think that I think the officials struggle with pass interference sometimes because it happens so quickly, and there's a lot of factors that go into it.
Are they? I mean, I know you guys all work together, but are they annoyed by you? I mean, you kind of.
I don't think
second guessing
yes.
them?
I
Yeah.
don't think we've made it easier. Our job, the rules analyst position, hasn't made it easier on the on-field official. It really hasn't
Right.
because a lot of times we're pointing things out that if you didn't have the experience that someone who spent a lot of time around it, you might not notice. So we're pointing out mistakes sometimes. So
Yeah.
it's not always great for them.
What do you say to the people who think that there is some sort of conspiracy? Yeah.
I say it to a lot of people because a lot of people look. The Chiefs have gotten the benefit of some close calls but they've been very good, right? And whenever you have a team that's so good that is successful, people are going to look for reasons, right? The Patriots for a long time, they've gotten the benefit of calls. I think those things tend to kind of even out over time. They're also a pretty good team, and
Yeah.
you don't win you're not on the cusp of a three-peat if you're not good. It's not just the officiating.
Who is going to win this game on Sunday?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the Eagles, but I have a hard time going against. Like if Mahomes has the ball in his hands with less than 2 minutes with an opportunity to win the game, it's going to be hard to say that he's not going to pull it off.
Most of the players say you look at the facts, you look at the history and what, then you look at that and you see who's going to win this game.
Yeah.
But I still am with you. I feel like Saquon Barkley's still so mad at the Giants.
Oh my God.
I mean, they have to be just.
I grew up in New York. I grew up
Sure,
a
so did
Giants
I.
fan. My son is my oldest is a big Giants fan. He has like 2 Saquon jerseys. And he still wears them from time to time, just sitting there and with a sad face on. So yeah.
Do your sons think you're cool, or they think you're a nerd? I mean that. Like
no,
my,
I know. I
I'm
get
asking you,
it.
My son
100%.
doesn't think I'm cool at all.
No, my 14-year-old, my 9-year-old still thinks I'm pretty cool. My
Right.
14-year-old's like, Dad, whatever. Like
If you
he
can
called me a boomer the other day.
You
I
got
was like,
boomer.
what? He's like, you're an old head. I'm like, stop, because we argue about. He thinks LeBron is the greatest of all time. I think MJ.
Jordan.
You're right.
So I know I'm right,
Yeah.
but that makes me a boomer.
Yeah. No, trust me. I feel your pain. Do you find that you're cooler as he is able to meet more people? Then all of a sudden you
Yes.
become
I
cool
got
dad?
him. I got him because he plays quarterback in his flag football league, and I got Tom Brady to do a video for quarterback play.
I mean,
And he was like, okay, this is pretty cool, Dad. I was like,
I know you see Brady around, but when you start working with him and you see him for the first time, are you not? First of all, when he first walked in the room, because we're in Tampa.
yeah.
First walked into the room, I went, "Oh, he's so much taller. Oh my God, he's gorgeous."
He's
you
a
can't help
handsome
it.
guy.
You
He's a
can't help
handsome
it.
guy. He's great. He is great. You
Yeah.
know, at first when you first meet him, you're like, wow, it's Tom Brady. He's just like he just wants to be a good teammate. He
Yeah.
wants to learn. He's been fantastic.
What will you do for the Super Bowl? Will you be locked up in a room or what?
Yeah, I'll be combination of like with our pregame crew. If something happens that we need to go on at halftime, and then up in the booth with the group. So yeah, we'll see how the game goes.
Yeah, and you're ready at a minute, man. They could just throw it
Gotta
to you.
be ready.
Yeah,
You don't know.
don't miss it.
You don't know what's gonna
You can't
happen.
take a leak or nothing during that game.
Nope. We just got to be ready, and so we're just hoping for a good game. We're not going to be talking about the officials on Monday, and then we'll.
Is there a bet that we can make at Hard Rock Bet about who's going to be the most penalized? Do they do those?
I would imagine.
I'm sure that's a prop. I'm
Any-
sure that's
any
a prop
inside
bet.
prop
I don't
bet?
know. I mean, I don't want
One team lean more towards the other.
We'll see. We'll see.
what do you think about these, like the tush push and these crazy scrums where they get in, you can't even tell where the ball's
I'm
at?
over the tush push.
Yeah,
I'm over it.
Like the
I'm
Josh
over it.
Allen play, you couldn't really tell where the ball was.
Can't tell where
and-
the ball is. I think that it's a safety issue as well. Like, I'm over it. We need to get rid of it. I know the Eagles, have perfected it. That's great. Other teams try and they can't. It just creates a lot of other issues.
Do you think if there's been talk of putting like a chip in the ball to measure? I don't even know if that even is
that, if it
possible or
goes
what.
over the
It's
back.
hard because people are saying, well, like tennis. I'm like, well, tennis is the ball and the line. That's it.
Yeah.
Football, you've got a ton of bodies in the way. It's not just where the ball is. It's when was the knee down or when did the official rule forward progress. So you have to add so many other factors. Can it happen? Sure. Technology. I mean, who knows what we're going to have in the next 3 to 5 years? But I don't think it's as simple as saying, well, you know where the ball is, where's the line. There's a lot of other factors.
Yeah.
I think the human factor in the whole thing makes it more exciting.
To me, Don't you think the chain crew is one of the most exciting? Like when they bring it out and it's your team and it's in the ball sitting there, is it going to be a first down or not? I mean, that's how we grew up. Like,
Yeah.
oh, and they stretch the chains and everybody's like either excited or they're upset in the stadium. I like that.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that.
I hope they don't take that away.
Yeah.
Because that's something that they probably could have easily eliminated by now, just by chipping a ball and putting the thing down.
Yeah,
and,
you can. Oh, you can do that now. Once the ball's down, you can measure it in relation
Right.
to the line of game. But I just like the drama of it. I like those, old guys running out. It's awesome.
Well, I hope you have a great game on Sunday. I don't know. Do you hope for a lot of going to the Dean Blandino window?
If get one for my mom,
Right.
and
right.
then we're-
And then leave me alone
and
the
then
rest
I'm
of the
good.
game.
And then I'm good.
Do players ever hit, like, does your phone start going off when a call goes bad or something? Think, hey, man,
Oh,
what are
yeah,
you doing to me?
People are always texting when
Yeah.
things go on. So
That's
it's,
great.
yeah.
Well, I hope you have a great Super Bowl Sunday.
Thank you.
Appreciate
No
you sitting down with
controversial
us.
calls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, well, I got to tell you though, I love it. If I'm watching the game, and for a second everybody stop and I know they're going to go to you, I'm like, all right, well at least I can leave the room and still listen and hear what's going on. Dean Blandino, at Rules Analyst, official Rules Analyst for Fox Sports. You'll see him Sunday on Super Bowl Sunday, and I would imagine we'll talk about which team will have the most
Sure.
penalties.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll take a quick break. It's the Mike Calta Show live at Radio Row on 102.5 The Bone.